This is just a quick update on our analysis of the Master Arborist's assessment of a sample of trees in the Long Point and Marsh Creek areas. This is being used to develop analytic models to guide our forestry management. The Master Arborist spent several days coding a detailed inspection of almost 2,700 trees along these roads, including the Walker's Landing Parks. We have consulted with Danny Lippy to ensure that we understand his data as reported. The arborist provided location information to pinpoint each tree and its health on our maps. They also characterized each tree's size and physical conditions, recommending actions to prolong tree life. These were largely along the road shoulders in Long Point and Marsh Creek, a total of about 12 forested acres. To better understand tree health evolution, it is essential to focus on each species separately. In this sample, live oaks were about 40% of all the trees, providing a sample of more than 1,000 to analyze. This graph plots each tree by its height and measured width. The color coding of each dot indicates the arborist's health assessment. A primary measure of a tree is the thickness of its trunk. A standard measure is the diameter 4.5 feet off the ground, known as the diameter at breast height. In our sample, this ranged from a few inches to more than 5 feet in diameter. Scientists have studied tree growth for centuries. They learned that a tree's annual growth cycle leaves a visible pattern in the trunk cross-section each year of growth. Each tree species has a different growth rate and a different lifespan. For our live oaks, we estimate the age as 4 times the diameter at breast height. So a 20-inch diameter live oak would be about 80 years old. We have used this to plot the number of trees by age group. In our sample, the highest number of trees were in the age range of 60 to 70 years, but we have a few that are more than 250 years old. As part of our model, we use this data to correlate with the approximate birth year of the trees. The most numerous were born in the 1960s, before there was significant development on the island, but our older trees were born before the Declaration of Independence and the Civil War. In a natural environment, trees, like people, show a natural decline depending on the species. This provides us with useful information to model how our trees will grow old and die, and informs us in advance of the likely number of new trees that will be needed, naturally or with nursery plantings, to maintain our forest. With this data, a reasonable assumption to model this as shown is the loss of about 2.5% of trees each year after they reach maturity. But what is puzzling from the data is that the number of younger trees seems to be less than previous. Over the past 50 years, the data suggests a decline in new growth. Trees born in 1948 were at a density of about 16 per acre, but in the last decade, this has dropped to less than 2 per acre. Checking the Nassau County tax records, it appears that the tree decline in our sample that we have seen beginning in the early 70s is related to the new construction taking place in Marsh Creek and later in Long Point. Although the trees that were assessed were mostly on AIPCA road shoulders, as homes were built, space is cleared along the road for driveways and landscaping. There are some restrictions that only allow smaller trees to be removed, so the larger ones were spared. With 26 of our lots still vacant, we should review the tree removal guidelines. Here is an overlay of our model prediction of a slow early decline matched to the faster later decline shown previously. If this is correct, this indicates that during this period, over 750 smaller live oaks were removed to make way for the 300 homes that were built during this period. We are continuing to work to assess our forests to better understand the natural and man-made factors contributing to its decline in order for us to design an effective forest management plan going forward. Thank you and appreciate your comments.